Rob, what a collection of footballers and managers behind you here in Croke Park. It's a lovely morning to be here. It's December, but it's a lovely morning and great to have you involved again.
Yeah, look, we're absolutely delighted. Been involved since 2017, and as you said, we're blessed with the weather this morning. You wouldn't think it was December here in Croke Park. So yeah, absolutely delighted.
8 years, that's incredible. And the big screen has it up there, hashtag first class rivals. I mean, you're part of the furniture now.
We certainly are. I mean, first class rivals. It's a really good campaign. I think it probably encompasses what HEC is all about. And rivals coming together, traditional rivals, county rivals coming together to play for their college teams. So it's a really unique competition that we're delighted to be part of.
Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, I'm talking to the lads this morning, and some of them, even last week we did a game and there was lads from the same club playing against each other, so there's a lovely spirit at that level. Now they're competitive, but it sums it up perfectly.
Yeah, it really does. And I mean, we did some creative out of home last year where we kind of showcased those rivals coming together. And there's just a great spirit. There's alliances that are being formed that, as we said, wouldn't normally exist in the format. I think, for the overall competition, bringing the new rules, the new football rules coming in this year is going to bring another string to the bow of what is already a really exciting competition.
And what are your thoughts about the championships after Christmas then and being involved, and what is it going to do for you guys?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's really important for us. Electric Ireland serves over 1 million customers right around the island of Ireland. And it's, having a competition like this and being able to actually reach out and be part of kind of the GAA in local communities and right up to a national level is really important for us.
Rob, what a collection of footballers and managers behind you here in Croke Park. It's a lovely morning to be here. It's December, but it's a lovely morning and great to have you involved again.
Yeah, look, we're absolutely delighted. Been involved since 2017, and as you said, we're blessed with the weather this morning. You wouldn't think it was December here in Croke Park. So yeah, absolutely delighted.
8 years, that's incredible. And the big screen has it up there, hashtag first class rivals. I mean, you're part of the furniture now.
We certainly are. I mean, first class rivals, it's a really good campaign. I think it probably encompasses what HEC is all about. And rivals coming together, traditional rivals, county rivals coming together to play for their college teams. So it's a really unique competition that we're delighted to be part of.
Yeah, it's perfect. I mean, I'm talking to the lads this morning, and some of them, even last week we did a game and there was lads from the same club playing against each other, so there's a lovely spirit at that level. Now they're competitive, but it sums it up perfectly.
Yeah, it really does. And I mean, we did some creative out of home last year where we kind of showcased those rivals coming together. And there's just a great spirit. There's alliances that are being formed that, as we said, wouldn't normally exist in the format. I think, for the overall competition, bringing the new rules, the new football rules coming in this year is going to bring another string to the bow of what is already a really exciting competition.
And what are your thoughts about the championships after Christmas then and being involved, and what is it going to do for you guys?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's really important for us. Electric Ireland serves over 1 million customers right around the island of Ireland. And it's, having a competition like this and being able to actually reach out and be part of kind of the GAA in local communities and right up to a national level is really important for us.
Good evening, and it's a nice evening. The rain has stopped. I'm delighted to say we are here at Abbotstown, the National Sports Centre, for this Electric Ireland Sigerson Cup game. It's the last game in round 2A, and what that means is it's the last group of games of the winners. So we had 3 teams last night got straight through to the quarterfinals, and the winner of this will also go through to the quarterfinals. This is the last of those. There's other games on tonight, but it's round 2B, which is basically the teams who've already been beaten. So we'll work all that out for you as we go. But for now, the important news. Oh, the rain is on. I thought the rain had stopped. Look at that. You can see it in that shot there. And the reason we're capturing that nice shot there is because we've got 2 cameras at this tonight. And one of them is out in that rain. We apologise to him, but he's out there getting some beautiful shots. And there's one nice shot already of Fergal Logan. And he, of course, is loving life back with the universities. He captained Queen's to a Sigerson success way back, as did Dan McCartan, who's in there managing with him. So 2 better men you could not get, and Fergal loving it. I heard recently that the former Tyrone All-Ireland winning manager was even up at a thirds game in North Derry. He can't keep away. He's loving it there. He's across all 3 teams at Queen's. That's great to see, and that sort of enthusiasm we have seen down the years with UCC, who we're now looking at, and primarily under the leadership of Billy Morgan, who is still here. He is here, and what a credit to the man from Nemo Rangers that he's still here tonight. But that's Fergal out there now. Fergal Logan getting plenty of water on board, as if there's not enough water coming down from the skies before this game. These are 2 of the originals, I'm going to call them that, UCC and Queen's. If you go way back 100 years, the competitions were between UCG, UCD, UCC, Queen's University. They were the 4 originals, and I'm delighted to say that Queen's have kept a lot to their traditional values. For example, Anton Tohol in the middle of the field, son of Anthony, who was at Queen's. You'll find that trend as we go on. He is chair of the football committee at the club, so they get to learn roles, and that's very important, of course, as they go on, not just in the club, but when they go back to their own clubs around the country. There is John Granger in the foreground with the blue hat there, another man who has been around these parts for a long time and is still as enthusiastic as ever. He was saying to me earlier, the teams change every year. That's the excitement of it, and it is indeed. You don't know what you're going to get each year, and as we found out this week, you don't know what you're getting from one week to the other. Last week DCU really put Ulster University to the sword, and last night UL beat DCU in DCU by 9 points. So what are we going to get tonight? Queen's University haven't been at the top table for a while. I mean, not really the top table, but tonight they are back with big hopes. They beat University of Galway last week, and they're hoping to reach the quarterfinals now. And as I say, under Fergal Logan and Dan McCartan, they have high hopes, and that good result last week has really lifted spirits around the place. And they actually won that game right here, so the advantage of playing here might help. The weather obviously is going to be a huge factor as well, the conditions. Now, it's a terrific pitch here, we know that, but it's going to be greasy, it's going to be slippy, it's going to be tricky. I had the teams, and I'll go to them in just a second after I give you the latest scores from elsewhere. So, Ulster University fighting for their lives against MTU Cork over at Belfield, across the city here, actually in Dublin at UCD. They started at 6:15. At half time it was only 7 points to 6, and that was to Ulster University. Then Ulster University got a goal, Cian O'Neill, but MTU struck back with a goal of their own. So last I heard it was 1-8 to 8. I'm now hearing halfway through the second half 111 to 1-8. So Ulster University winning by 3 points. Elsewhere, University of Galway are playing ATU Sligo. Actually, I think that one's later on. And St Mary's against Galway, that is nearing a conclusion. So let me try and see if I can get you one on that. I have a score here. Now it's 48 minutes gone on that one. ATU Galway winning by 8 points, 115 to 10. So it looks like St Mary's are heading out of the Sigerson Cup. And unless there's a very dramatic comeback in the last 12 minutes or so there, and Ulster University and MTU Cork going at it. And last week MTU Cork, well, they did well actually. There's Jack Dowling in the middle there as well, enjoying it as much as ever. He was a player, of course, and his dad Dermot, a player back in the day as well, and very much involved in Queen's over the years. And good to see Jack out there in the rain, enjoying it with the students out there. He's not that long removed from being a student himself, of course. So what was I telling you? Yeah, St Mary's against ATU Galway. Galway winning that one. MTU Cork, yeah, last week they actually played UL. We were down at that one in Cork, and we didn't really know how to read that one. Didn't think UL were that good, but of course last night they proved they are very good, and maybe when you look at that now, maybe MTU Cork are better as well than we thought. So that is something to think about too. Just stalling here a wee second. There's another latest scores come through. ATU Galway 116, and that's them 116 against 12 now, so well clear in that game. And also University have a 4-point lead. Right, let's look at the teams then for this game here in Abbotstown, Queen's University. Well, Dan McCartan and Fergal Logan, the joint managers there. The team, looking at it now, Aaron Lee's an interesting one on goals. He's a dub from out the road here, not far from here, plays for Fingal Ravens, Dublin under 20. So they've a Dublin man in goals. The rest, of course, are all Ulster lads. You have Joey Clark there, is from Donaghmore, and there are 4 from the Donaghmore club starting for Queen's tonight. That's quite a thing when you think about it. And UCC, well, they've 3 from Clonakilty starting, and of course there was 3 from Skerries Harp starting for DCU last night. But you don't usually get too many from one club, but 4 from Queen's is quite something. So Joey Clark at number 2. Not that he'll stay in cornerback, he'll be all over the place. 3, Joe Finnegan from St Bridget's in Belfast. 4, Rory Forbes from Ballinderry. Shamrocks in Derry there, near the Tyrone border, near the Ardbow area there. 5, Cathal Hines, he's from Glenravel, as is 15, Ryan McQuillan, 2 from the Glenravel club, and that's quite a thing as well for that club in County Antrim to have 2 on the Queen's starting team. 6 is Conor O'Neill, he's Donaghmore. 7, Donal Scullion from Balahi. And at midfield you have Dan Higgins, the captain, at number 8, and another Derry man, Anton Tohill, at number 9. Conal Higgins at 10 is a brother of Dan, and their dad also played for Queen's, as did Donal Scullion's dad Tom and Luke Diamond's dad Carl. So that's the trend I was telling you about. Ronan Cassidy at 11 is another of the Donaghmore boys, and he'll take the frees. 13 is Noah Grimes. Yep, he's from Donaghmore, and last week terrific player, and it was his creativity and vision that helped set up the winning goal for Anton Tohill, and then he tagged on a point or 2 after that as well. A really good player, and he's won All-Irelands at under 20 level. 14's an interesting one as well. Michael Burnett, former Ulster rugby under 20. Well, he actually might even be a current under 20, I'm not quite sure, but he's from Tiernan Ogan, Portadown, and he's the only Armagh player in the entire Queen's panel, which is a bit unusual. He plays out the field, he'll not be playing in there, he'll be all around the field. And 15 is Ryan McQuillan. That is Queen's. UCC manager Paul O'Keefe with, of course, Billy Morgan in there. Austin Murphy is from Renard and Kerry. There's 6 Kerry men, the rest are all Cork. 2's Dan Pete from Clonakilty. 3, Jacob O'Driscoll from Valley Rovers in Cork. 18, Conor Gamble is from Legion, and actually there's a lot of changes here since we got that team, so I'm just going to read them here. 18 is Conor Gamble from Legion and Killarney. He's going to go in at cornerback. 34, Liam Evans from Keelan Kerry is starting halfback. 31, Colin Malloy will play at centre halfback from Nemo Rangers. Chris Keneally at number 7, Clonakilty. 8, Michael McSweeney from Knocknagree in Cork. 10, Rory Murphy is from Listry in Kerry. He'll play at midfield. And 9, Tom Cunningham there from Kilshannig in Cork will go to right half forward. 11, Emmett Daly from Valencia. 12, James Horgan from Ferries. 27, Olin Corcoran will play in there from St Mary's and Cork in the corner as the ball is thrown up between the 2 big number 9s, and Anton Tohill goes for it. But Rory, or rather the Tom Cunningham it is, who was in there for the hop, even though I was told he was playing at 10, he is in there winning that hop, and that's why they've got the first attack of the game, and they've made progress there. Just to finish the teams then, 14, Conor Daly, Clonakilty, and 15, Kieran Santry from Carbery Rangers in Cork. So I hope you got all that. I know that was a wee bit confusing from the UCC team. They played with squad numbers and then give me their team before the game, but as I say, there's 18s and 27s and 34s in there. We'll work it out as we go along. Is this going over? He struck it well, but it's gone to the left. Kept in though for UCC, and they work it back out to James Horgan. But you see there the conditions I was telling you about. There's a great pitch here, but it's going to be slippy. It's been a lot of rain, and it's still raining. So 1 minute nearly gone, and one thing's for certain tonight, the boys will be soaked, but they're well used to that, these lads. Number 3 there is Joe Finnegan coming out with the ball, and that a little bit hard to see actually, the light green jerseys over on the far side there, the light green numbers rather on the Queen's jerseys way over on the far side, so I'll rely on my monitor and a little bit of luck. And you can see in that tight shot there the rain coming down really heavily, and it looks to be in the Queen's faces, but has not stopped them getting the first point of the game in the 2nd minute. That was a really good attack, their first of the game. And that's Noah Grimes in the foreground off the shot there, number 13. And 15 over from him, just to help you identify these players. That's Ryan McQuillan from Glenravel. Now the big fellas go up, but on the break it's Queens, and that's Cathal Hines. He's another of the Glenravel players. Very impressed with him last week against University of Galway. Over carrying though. He loves to get forward, does Cathal, and was very good in that game last week. And there again, the UCC players having difficulty with the pitch, and you know it might be quite firm, but a lot of rain on the surface from the rain today. As I say, it's a very good firm pitch, but there's been a lot of rain on it. They tried a little fancy soccer touch there, and actually it worked. You know, it got as far as James Horgan, and off he goes now, and he's through here if he can steady himself. And when the challenges come in, and he does steady himself and fists it over the bar, and that's a nice finish by the man from Kerry. 6 Kerry men in the starting 15, and he did well there. He was being chased down by, as you see there in our tight camera, 3, 4, 5 Queen's men, and he still got the score away. He kept cool. 1 point each. Good kick out. Looking up off camera for you to try and spot some tactical moves or who's in there. There's actually nobody in the full forward area at all. Noah Grimes heading there now. Not the tallest of players, but certainly very nippy and reads the game very well. He's been picked up actually by number 18 Conor Gamble from the Legion club in Killarney. Is that a turnover? No, it's come back out for Queens. That's Hines, I think, giving it back out. And waiting there is Conor O'Neill, but it's not going to come as far as him. Instead, this is Luke Diamond with the effort, and it goes well right and wide. So we'll check your messages as they come in throughout the evening on the live chat there on YouTube. So I'll keep an eye on that, and I'll try and keep you up to date with the other games too, which 2 of them are nearing conclusion. On the break, Queens win it again. This is Dan Higgins from the Mahrafelt Rossa Club. 5 is Cathal Hines. Good progress. He likes to get forward. Now that effort could go over. There's plenty of height, but does it have the direction? I think it does, yeah. And it's gone over. Good score. And it looked like Noah Grimes to me. Get another look at it here. On the tight, yeah, he goes looking for it there. Was it? No, I'm not sure it was him actually. It happened a bit sharp there on that one. Sorry, I don't know. I can't confirm exactly who got that one, but I'm sure you maybe saw it for yourself. But it's definitely a point for Queens, 2-1, and that's well intercepted by Ryan McQuillan. And he delivers a ball quickly. You can see what he was trying to do. Nearly through for a goal chance, but UCC get it instead. This is Rory Murphy to Chris Keneally, one of the 3 Clonakilty players. Leaves it off to Horgan, and they're just going to keep calm there. I'm just checking the other scores and trying to watch this game as well. That's Keith, or not Keith Evans, that's Liam Evans. Keith would have been playing in the last couple of years. That one goes over the line, so it gives me a chance to tell you that Ulster University, 5 minutes to go, are leading by 4. No. They're leading by... Have I got that wrong? I'm reading 2 different things here. It's a wee bit confusing. One says 1:15. One says they're leading by 6. Full time, and the Ranch are out. St Mary's have been beaten. ATU Galway 120. St Mary's 12 points. So St Mary's... former winners, of course, twice back in the day, 1989 when Jarlath Burns played for them, and about 2017 was it when Paddy Talley managed them and Conor Myler starred for them. They won that day, but they are out of this year's competition after 2 defeats, and that has been brought right forward to the 13-metre line. There must have been a bit of back chat there, so an easy one here for UCC, for Conor Daly to make it 2 points each. Don't think I'm tempting fate too much in saying that. Yep. Don't worry about me going quiet here. I'm just checking scores for you. Making sure you're up to date. It's close over in Belfield. No doubt it's raining over there as well, but Ulster University look like they're going to come through there. The draw, by the way, for the next round will be made tomorrow lunchtime. So that will be everyone except the 4 teams already through to the quarterfinals. There's a goal chance here for Queens. Oh, off the crossbar and a palm to the net, and it is a goal for Queens. Early in this game, it's a great start for them. They've come here with high hopes and they've started brilliantly. It looked like they'd missed the opportunity, but at the second time of asking, they've got it. Let's have another look at it here and see exactly what happened. Well, it was Donald Scullion with that one that hit the bar, and then Ryan McQuillan from Glenravel and County Antrim with a finish. A great start for Queen's University. Been trying to tell you about what's happening elsewhere, but lost a bit of concentration on the game here. So as soon as we find out what happens to Ulster University and MTU Cork, we'll focus totally on this one. 1-2 to 2 though. Queens will be delighted with that. They did play here last week, as I say, and actually in the first half they were playing the same direction, and they had a goal chance, and it was Luke Diamond. That was a 1-on-1, but it was well saved by the goalkeeper. But they've taken the opportunity here. And McQuillan, who was replaced by Luke McManus in the second half, will be delighted with that goal. Yeah, 5 to go, 5 points in it for Ulster University against MTU Cork across the city. So St Mary's and Belfast have gone out. Ulster University from the north look like they're going through, and Queen's here hoping to go through, and it would be serious progress for Queens if they could get through. They've been sort of in the, not in the doldrums, but the lower reaches of Sigerson for a good number of years, since winning it back about 15-16 years ago when Dan McCartan was the captain. And they had good progress under Conor Deegan, and now Fergal Logan has come in with Dan McCartan, and they have a good team in there with Mark McCartan as well, and John O'Neill, Jack Dowling and people like that around them. And they have taken a big scalp in University of Galway, and if they could take another one tonight, it would be serious progress. They'd really be back in the big time. Foul on Rory Murphy. UCC trying to get going. 31 on the ball, and 31 is Colin Malloy, but it's broken down again, and UCC just haven't got going at all here. The referee I haven't mentioned is going to come over to that situation, of course, and that's Andrew Smith from Dunshaughlin and Meath, as we watch our tight camera shot of this again as the hit comes in, and yeah, definitely a foul. So Andrew Smith, rather, Dunshaughlin and County Meath, and the rest are dubs. On the line, Stephen Fagan. Standby is Patrick Coyle, and the fourth official is Kevin McDonald. And a yellow card there. Don't think he can argue with that. Goalkeeper's come all the way out to take that one, and now heading back after giving it to Anton Tohal. Ball over the top looking for Cathal Hines. He's been tracked and overturned as well. Chance here, there's a lot of room in front of Conor Daly here, but he doesn't use it. He lets the ball in instead and gives it all the way into Olin Corcoran in the corner, but he's been well marshalled there, to be fair. I think it was Rory Forbes who followed him all the way out there. I think it's maybe gone out for a 45 actually. Excuse me, I have a bit of a sore throat. Just trying to clear it and not disturb your listening. It was a bit tricky last night. It was freezing last night in DCU. I was having trouble putting sentences, I can't even say sentences, putting them together last night. Tonight it's more wet than cold. But what a game we had last night, and what a performance by UL to get through to the quarterfinals. So they're in there with TUD and UCD. And the winners of this, they'll be the 4 qualifiers who won't be in the draw tomorrow. So those 4 teams then will be pitched again, the winners of the 4 games next week. So that will be round 3, the draw made for that tomorrow. So that's the teams who haven't qualified automatically by winning their 2 games to the quarterfinals. I'll give you the list of them in a minute and update it as we go on. But let's, as I say, concentrate on this game. And this is Hines again. Leaves it off for Queens. Now up ahead I can see Noah Grimes making intelligent runs. He's all over the full forward area, and this is where the goal came from, that side, and they've been quite good along that side. Most of the attacks from there, but they just bring it back out. They're being patient. 29 minutes gone over in Belfield, and Ulster University lead by 5, 116 to 111 against MTU Cork. So they're nearly over the line there. This is Ronan Cassidy. That's Donald Scullion. Cassidy again. He takes the freeze. 2. He bypasses Dan Higgins. Now he looks for the move inside and gets it, and that's a beautiful 1-2. It's worked beautifully, and he should put this over, but I don't think he's got the distance. He hasn't. Didn't connect properly, but the idea was good. Very patient, and then the 1-2, and they took 3 UCC men out of it, but didn't have the finish. Now UCC have a chance to transition here with Emmett Daly. Now he's a bit perplexed about what happened there. The referee coming over to the line, maybe it was over the line or something, I'm not quite sure. They're sorting it out now between them. Referee talking to his linesperson. And it's a UCC ball. Not quite sure what that was about, but they have it now. And Queens obviously have been able to get a player or 2 back, but here they come again. They have a chance. McSweeney. He's rather easily knocked off the ball there, but gets it back, and UCC haven't really held on to the ball too well in the opening exchanges, but that's a decent effort. If he's put it over, he has put it over, Michael McSweeney. Well, he persisted and kept going, and the man from Knocknagree in Cork has got UCC back into the game. That's their 3rd point and the first since the goal. Brings it back to a 2-point game. Well done, the midfielder. Now the goalkeeper, Aaron Lee, as I say, from Fingal Ravens in Dublin, drills it out to this side. That's low, and that's going to go over the line. He was looking for Hines, but as soon as it hit the grass, you knew it was going over. It picked up speed from there. UCC 7 is Chris Keneally from Clonakilty to Horgan. This McSweeney again. Doesn't fancy it again from there, does he? He does, after getting one a minute ago, and that's huge. Wow, a 2-pointer. Well, sometimes when you get a point, you can see a player's confidence is up, and that was certainly the case there. He fancied that, and that's well outside the arc. So a 2-pointer there brings it back to a level game. On the counter, though, a chance here for Queens to get a score at the other end after being pegged back level inside about a minute, and they do go ahead again, and that's a really good response for them. And UCC will be disappointed with that after getting back level and doing all that hard work, and they concede very quickly. 1-3 to 5. 15 minutes gone, just coming up to the end of the first quarter. Looking for Horgan here, but well broken and well won by Donald Scullion. He came in for a tough challenge there, but held on to it really well. But he's made of tough stuff. He's Tom Scullion, heritage from Balahi, so we're not surprised. The Balahi Wolf Tones. Gets it back as well. This is Conor O'Neill. Likes to get forwards. He got a point the last day as well, and he's just pumped one in there, and that's actually worked out really well. It goes to Noah Grimes, and he read it beautifully and put it over the bar. And that was Route 1 football, wasn't it? Never mind being patient and playing through the lines and all that. He just pumped it in there, but Grimes read it beautifully. And the defender just seemed a little bit lost, and Grimes took advantage. As I say, he's a really nice finisher of either foot, and that was certainly a good score for him. And he's still been marked by Conor Gamble, but he's got a point or two and is making a difference in there, and that's 2 in a row for Queens to get back to their 2-point lead. UCC have got that one back rather easily, and they get it to Conor Daly. Quickly transferred into Santry, and he's going for a score. Oh, and he's put it in the net. Where was the keeper? Oh, that's a disaster for Queens to get caught out like that. After all their good work, and Santry couldn't believe his luck. He didn't have to put it high, he just put it low because there was no keeper in there. Let's see it again. And yeah, you see the keeper there scrambling back. He's never going to get there. And UCC let the ball in and got the reward. And that is a sort of goal that will make you tear your hair out. Now, what's the referee deciding here? Has he put a man off? Is it a black card? That looked like a black card to me. I had no idea what it was for. It must have been something after the goal. But UCC, he doesn't seem to know either. He's saying what went on there. It's Connor Daly. He's the man, I think, who put the ball in. And he's got his hands up and saying, he's trying to have a word with the linesman and saying, what is going on? I don't know what happened there. I can't tell you. Maybe we'll find out. But UCC are on a roll here, even though they've got 14 players. But there's a Queen's man down, injured. So they're going to hold the play up. It looked like a nasty one as well. The referee had to hold that up. You see it again here. It was O'Neill. And he just lost possession again. And it was an elbow to the face, or an upper arm to the face. I'm not saying it was intentional. I don't think it was. But an unfortunate collision there. And if there's an injury to the head, of course, hold the play up and make sure he's okay. It gives me a chance to give you an update. And yeah, full time Ulster University are through. They beat MTU Cork 116 to 111. So MTU Cork are gone. St Mary's are gone. So round 3 tomorrow, the draw will be made, and there will be 8 teams in that. That will be the group of games, 4 games, or the 4 winners from that will get the other 4 quarter-final spots. So I'll give you that list of 8 as we go on and when I get another chance. So this game is going one way and then the other. UCC with their 2-pointer got back into it and then went 2 down and then got that goal. So they lead by a point, but here come Queens again, unperturbed by the setbacks. That's Anton Tohill, makes good progress, gives it to Grimes. I don't know why it is that UCC players seem to be slipping more in the conditions than Queens. Queens are definitely taking their chances well and staying on their feet. That was a really good score to level it. Really well worked again, and they'll be encouraged that every time they go forward they seem to be able to score, and that was Luke Diamond. Level game, 19 minutes in, and it is definitely a good game. It's an entertaining one, it's an open one, and you can definitely see the effect of the new rules with that 2-pointer and the other actions in the game so far. Really good to follow and good to watch, and good open play, and both teams going for it, which is great to see. This is Conor O'Neill. He's recovered well. A shimmy one way and then turns the other. Might fancy it himself. No, he gives it to Grimes. Grimes comes in from the side a lot and pops it into the middle. That's Anton Tohill leaving it off, and it's Dan Higgins. Is it Dan? It might be Cassidy. I'm not sure from this distance, but he doesn't connect at all, and that's happened a few times for Queens. But when they've won it back, that's been given away and stolen back, maybe we'll put it that way, from McQuillan to O'Neill. And has he got that over? I think he has, from a very tight angle. No, it's not. Bit of applause here. They thought it was over and they thought the signal was a score, but it was wide. Man down for UCC. Going to require a bit of treatment, but it looks like the referee is going to say play on, but that will mean they've only 13 players actually able to play at the minute. They've one off, remember. I think it was a black card. I didn't see anybody come on for him, mind you, so maybe they got someone on for him. I'm not sure. I'll do the count in a minute. Doing it now, actually. Yeah, they're 14 out there, so I wonder, was it a red? I didn't think it was red, but maybe it is. Maybe they're down to 14. UCC for the rest of the game. UCC ball, and there's the new rules again, the solo and goal, but it's been brought back. I've seen that quite a lot over the last couple of days. That's been happening quite a lot. They haven't let the solo and goal go on. Haven't let the solo and goal go. There's a lot of yelling down below. You can maybe hear one voice. I think it's Dan McCartan, actually. It is, yeah, and he's actually behind the fence, not out with the rest of the managers, so maybe that's why we're hearing him a bit more, but he's certainly very vocal down there. The rest of the managers standing peacefully on the sideline, and Dan behind them, shouting instructions. Now you can understand the ball changing hands quite a lot here because of the conditions. UCC get it back though. Horgan gets it across. This is Rory Murphy. Way over in that far corner. 27 there is Corcoran. Olin Corcoran from the St Mary's Club in Cork. Comes all the way back out and keeps possession. Gets it to Emmett Daly from the wonderfully named Valencia Young Islanders. Kerry, of course. Yeah, just getting, not confirmation, but another opinion that we think it was a red. No idea what happened there. I mean, he played the ball in. I didn't see, so it must have been off the ball and something the referee and his officials saw and merited a straight red for UCC. I can only think there was maybe an altercation with a Queen's player and he reacted in some way. McSweeney gives it forward to Cunningham. Tom Cunningham. That's good, persistent, strong play by him, and of course they're all going to have to step up, and he gets through, goes on to his left and finishes really well, and that was a good individual score. He was fed by his fellow midfielder, but really did it all himself there and got past Tohill and did well to get that score and put UCC back in front. Now the kick out, and the kick outs haven't been entirely successful for Queens. It's not the first one that has gone straight over the line. This is Keneally. This is McSweeney. Murphy. Murphy gives it in, maybe looking for the return. Doesn't get the return. There might still be a score here though, and that looks like it's inside the post to me. Just waiting for, well actually I think it went wide because the referees brought it back for an earlier infringement. .23.5 minutes gone. And it's McSweeney. Was given an option there, but decides to take it himself. It's a high one. I think he's going to make it, you know. And he has made it. That's a superb score. It's a two-pointer again, and that's two two-pointers from Michael McSweeney from Knocknagree in Cork. And what a terrific thing to have in your armoury there. Makes such a difference. And it's two in the first half alone. One from play and one from a free. And they come again. And look, they have a 3-point lead now. They've turned it right around from being 3 down. Well, they've been 3 down twice, but now it's A who lead by 3 and make that 4. That's a good score, and it's Corcoran. Corcoran from Cork with a really good score, and they go 4 up now. Really good score for them. And it's Aaron Lee again, the goalkeeper, but where's he going to go? Queens have the extra player, but it's UCC who've been doing really well from their kickouts, and they've won that one as well, and that's Rory Murphy. Took it cleanly, gives it back to Corcoran, who scored from here a minute ago, maybe a bit closer in, and there was a last minute dive there, went in from Conal Higgins to put him off, and just about did enough. But the pressure on Queens at the minute, and they're struggling to get their kickouts away, even though, as I say, they have the extra man. They seem to be bunching in the middle and trying to get to the sides, but it just ain't working at the minute. Queen's warming up a couple of players. They brought on Luke McManus last week in the second half. The kick out goes to the other side. That's a much better one, and they did win Queen's possession earlier on that side, and they've done it again. I think that's Conor O'Neill. Seems like a while since they've been up this side. He's allowed to go all the way. Gets a little bit of help from Hines. Gives it back out, but UCC have got their shape back, their structure, even though, as I say, they've 3 players obviously up in the other half and 1 player off. So a little bit lower in numbers than usual. But are they going to do enough? No, Queens are still going there. Now they've got men in and around in their breaks, but they still get it. They get it away, UCC. And they've taken a bit of a grip in this match in the last 5 minutes or so. Queen started quite brightly and were able to score almost every time they got up the field, but they dropped a couple into the keeper's arms, and that one's been overturned, and UCC starting to get to grips with it. Now they're looking for a free there, but UCC are not going to get it. Well, actually the referee's brought it back. I think he'd given advantage. That's what he'd done. He did think it was a free, but give advantage, and now has brought it back. So it's a free for UCC. The teams, by the way, in round 3 I was telling you about in the draw tomorrow. So you're going to have one of the teams from here. You're going to have DCU. You're going to have Ulster University. This is the losers group, if you like. Maynooth are going to be there. MTU Kerry, ATU Galway, DKIT, and either University of Galway or ATU Sligo. So those teams will go into the hat tomorrow, and the 4 winners from them will go into the quarterfinals the week after. And already in there, UL, TUD, UCD, and the winners of this game here. Some very famous names, by the way, in the subs for Queens. There's a Sean O'Neill in there, number 24. Sean O'Neill, a legend at UCC, and indeed, or UCC at Queens, and of course, back in the day with Down. And there's a Joe Corrigan in there at number 31. People of a certain age and soccer supporters, and in particular Manchester City, would remember their goalkeeper Joe Corrigan. McSweeney now. You see they're trying to keep him off his right foot there. That's clever from Queens, especially when he can put 2 pointers over. And that's a great ball over the top there, and they found Connor Daly in there, and he's going to put it over. Really well worked. Santry involved in that. He's the man who got the goal, but that was good play, intelligent play, patient as well from UCC, and they open up a 5-point lead. Well, considering there were 3 down, that's an 8-point turnaround. Helped, of course, by the 2 pointers and by the bit of a gift of a goal as well. You don't see goalkeepers too often these days being that far out or even being caught out. You don't see that as much under the new rules. But certainly was the case there. And that seems to have been a bit of a turning point in the first half, that one. Things have definitely turned towards UCC since then. Maybe knocked a bit out of Queens, even though they have the man advantage. There's another ball won in the middle of the field, but the referee says there was a push. So Queens look to take it and take it quickly, and they do, and they get it out to Higgins, but well intercepted again, and very narrow up the middle from Queens. And UCC, with their player less, are doing very well and winning a lot of the balls that come in there now, which was not the case in the first 15, but they've certainly got the grips. 1 minute to go to half time. They have a 5-point lead, and it's hard to argue with it over the last 5 or 6 minutes, to be fair, maybe 10 minutes of this game. Queens, it seems, have not scored in quite a while and have not really got going. Again, Tohal trying to get them going. There's a nice ball inside. Actually, it's not a nice ball. It wasn't accurate at all. Grimes tried to play it on for himself. He is a soccer player at times as well. He starred for Dungannon Swifts, but that did not work out for him there, and it's gone over the line after a block. And UCC's management down below us is a big team of them on the right to the commentary area here, and they all look rather content at the minute. Things going well for them. You have the likes of Paul O'Keefe, the manager, Billy Morgan, Charlie McLaughlin, Mike Toomey, Luke Connolly, Mick Reynolds, and of course John Granger's in there as well. And there's another, I think it's Tor Leahy as well is his name. I was given a team, but it just cut out after TOR, so I think it's Tor. Could be Tony. UCC though, more importantly, going well and getting most of the decisions as well, and a bit of frustration there for Queens. They just can't get a break at the minute. McSweeney trying to look to see where the extra player is for Queens, by the way, and it's hard to see where it is. That's Hines giving it to Cassidy. Just going to count them actually. Again, UCC 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, only 14 out there for UCC, but they lead. Coming up to the break. This is Conal Higgins. That's a nice bit of play by him. And has he got it inside the post? Oh, it hasn't gone in. It's wide. It looked like it was certain to go, but it just curled away at the last minute, and that sums up where Queens are at the minute. They really need to get in at half time. Just checking on the live chat there on YouTube as the keeper goes to collect that to see if there's any sensible comments in there. Well, Dylan Larkin has told me that Stephen Fagan is from Wicklow, not Dublin. Apologies for that. Thanks for that, though. That's where the live chat comes in well, that it can correct things like that. Thank you for that. Big audience online watching, even though there's a lot of other games to watch around the country and the world tonight. But a lot of eyes on this game. UCC against Queens, and UCC, after a poor enough start, have come into it and they're doing really well now. That's gone to the right and wide, and that was from Liam Evans, and there is a half-time whistle. So that one didn't go over, but UCC will be delighted with their two-pointers that did go over, and they are one of the primary reasons why they lead by 5 points at half-time. 110 to 1-5. Queens made the better start. It was 2-2, then they got a goal. Went to 1-2. Queens got it, or UCC got it back level. Queens went ahead again by 2, but then UCC came back into it. This the goal early on. McQuillan with the finish there. But this is UCC with Horgan there, and this is the first of McSweeney's 2-pointers. He's got some kicking him, and there's no breeze at all tonight to talk of. Now this is the goal. I wonder is there any telltales here about the red card? I don't think so. But certainly an embarrassing moment for Queens, and then McSweeney with his 2-pointers. So there's a goal and 2-pointers. That's 7. And they've put on some other really fine scores as well, like this one from Tom Cunningham on his left foot as well. And that's why they lead at half time by 5. And they pulled away, as I say, there was 3 in it to Queens. So an 8-point turnaround. And as we see there in our second camera, the players and officials going in at half time, and a lot for Queens to think about at half time. We'll take a break and be back shortly with the second half. Welcome back for the second half. UCC are out, Queens are not. And a couple of things to tell you about that we've cleared up at half-time. UCC are back to 15. I obviously can't count, there's 15 of them out there. So there was a player sent off on a black, possibly for goading an opponent after the goal, although I haven't got that confirmed. I'm just speculating. This is the incident in the first half. It was the goal for UCC, and off camera here something happened and he was put off, but he's back on now, I'm told, the referee Andrew Smith from Dunshaughlin. And by the way, talking to the officials, that's the other thing I wanted to clear up. I did mention before half time in the live chat on YouTube that I was told that Stephen Fagan is a dub, or is from Wicklow, not a dub. I named him as a dub, I was given that information. He's on the line, and I at the time was thinking when I was doing commentary, what side's he on? And then I realised, oh no, it's the linesman they're talking about. So just to give them all a shout again, Andrew Smith on Dunshaughlin, Patrick Coyle, dub, Kevin McDonald, fourth official, dub, Stephen Fagan, not a dub, from Wicklow. And as you see, UCC warming up for the second half. I don't see any changes just yet, but Queen's definitely taking their time to come out for the second half of this 2026 Electric Ireland Sigerson Cup Round 2A game. And now they come out led by Dan Higgins, captain from Maherafelt, his brother at number 10, Conal. And they have it all to do after a bright start. And I was talking to one or two people at half time, and we did agree that the goal was a turning point. That is the UCC goal that you saw there a second or two ago. And really, Queens just needed to get in and get themselves refocused after that, because it did seem to have an effect on their morale and their mentality. And UCC got a grip in the game, and of course the 2 pointers as well from Michael McSweeney were obviously crucial as well. Here we go then for the second half of this game on the official GAA YouTube channel. The game being made available live thanks to the Higher Education GAA Committee, and they will be meeting tomorrow lunchtime to make the draw for the round 3. Now what's he decided there? And did one of the players cross over a line or something? There was a whistle right away. Anyway, it's a free for Queens. Sorry, I don't know that one. That's an unusual one, but that's Conor O'Neill, I do know that, and he will take this free and give it out to Cal Hines from Glenravel and County Antrim. Now, can Queens pick up where they left off about midway through the first half? They've been going well up to that. Can they raise their game again? They need to. 5-point deficit here against a really good team in UCC, but they played well in the first 15 minutes themselves to indicate that they can certainly do a job here, but that's not going to help. He obviously sliced that one off the side of the boot. So 110 to 1-5 for UCC. Goalkeeper is Austin Murphy from the Renard Club in Kerry, one of 6 in the starting 15. Actually, that was the 15 that was given, even though there's different numbers out there. They started with 9 Cork and 6 from Kerry. And I looked at the subs as well, and they're all Cork and Kerry too. No other counties involved at all. Now that one went over the line, so it's going to be a Queen's ball. So Queens need to find their form again from the first 15 minutes and from the way they played here on this pitch last week against University of Galway. And University of Galway are playing at the minute, by the way, against ATU Sligo. So the loser of that will go out completely, and the winner will go into that draw I was telling you about. We'll recap that one later. There's our second camera getting that low shot perfectly, and the Queen's press working, as you could see in that tight shot. Grimes comes looking for it, as he does so often, waiting for a bit of movement there. Oh, and he goes on to his left. Is he going to score from there? Well, he has. That's brilliant. That's exactly what Queens needed. That's real leadership from Noah Grimes from the Donaghmore Club in County Tyrone. And I have to say UCC were a little bit slack there. I thought they might get 1 or 2 other players around him. They should know by now that he's dangerous, but they had one player there, and once he dropped the shoulder and went past him, he was able to score. So UCC a little bit complacent there possibly, and it might be an important score because Queens looking to lift it at the start of the second half, get it back to 4, but they've given that one away. And it's UCC with a chance to counter with Horgan, and there's lots of room here for Emmett Daly. It's opened up for him, and he should get at least a point here, but he might want more. drives it towards the crossbar, probably hoping it would dip under it, but if not, go over it, and it did indeed. And talking about a little bit slack, where were Queens there with their defending? Definitely caught out there, and the quick transfer, and UCC are very good at that. They did the same thing for the goal. They let the ball do the work, a couple of kick passes, and defenders are struggling to get back. And of course the onus now is on Queens to get forward and to press. Queens again, so 1 point each in the second half. They made a good start, but one bad pass and they were punished. That's really good play by Conal Higgins, but it goes over the line and it's going to be a UCC ball. And the noise, I think, is from the UCC subs. You enjoyed that one? That's one back well for Queens, and it's Tohill inside to O'Neill. And he's got Higgins there, but goes himself, and that, if it curls in, will be a belter of a score. Oh, he's very unlucky. Very unlucky. Looked like it was going to curl in, like it did at the end of the first half. There was one chance there as well. It went wide. You need those little margins, those little bits of luck to go for you. But at the minute, Queens trying to get back into this. This is Grimes again. He's obviously their go-to man, and he fancies that from there. I don't think that's going to do, or is it? Just to the wrong side. Unlucky. The goalkeeper's going to go to get the second ball away out to the right there, so that gives me a chance to look on YouTube to see everything's okay, and we've well over 1,000 devices on the game there, which is terrific to see. I hope you're enjoying the coverage, and enjoyed it last night as well from DCU, where UL put in that terrific performance. Some great games over the first couple of weeks, and it's been brilliant to live stream the early games in the Sigerson Cup. 2 last week and 2 this week, and next week it will be round 3, and then the following week will be the quarterfinals. But it's all knockout from here on in. UCC get it from the kick out. Don't know the stats, but I'd say they probably won most of the kickouts from both goalkeepers, certainly over 50%. 34 on his back is Liam Evans. 3 is Jacob O'Driscoll from the Valley Rovers Club in Cork. 31 there is Colin Malloy from Nemo Rangers, same club as Billy Morgan. UCC come again, being very patient. Now Queens have dropped a player into the hole in there, if you like, but UCC moving the ball nicely from side to side at pace and get it to Keneally. Now the runs come. And here's one from Cunningham, or rather it was Murphy, sorry, and now the finish should have come, and it is indeed applied by Conor Daly from Clonakilty. That was good patient play by UCC, and it's point for point in the second half. They retain or regain their 5-point lead. University of Galway 1-11, ATU Sligo 1-2 in that game. So the way that's going, the Sligo College are going out of the competition, and ATU Galway, or University of Galway rather, will go in to the hat for the draw tomorrow. UCC come again. This is Cunningham. That's laid off by the man who got the point there, Conor Daly. This is Horgan to the left, wide. Yeah, wide ball. 6 minutes in, but UCC threatening there to extend their lead. Actually 112 to 1-6. We have it, so they've already extended their lead. Is there a 2-pointer in there? I'm not sure. I thought it was 111 to 1-6. I thought it was 2-2 in the second half. Maybe there was a 2-pointer there. Sorry about that. We'll clarify that. There's no scoreboard on the ground here. There sometimes is, but not tonight, I'm afraid. Aaron Lee arrows that one way out to the right, and Queens get in. It was well played, well taken down, and they get it to O'Neill, who loves to storm forward from centre half back. Now leaving it off to one of the shooters. That is Cassidy. Takes a freeze, but they haven't had many frees tonight. Has that gone over? It has. That's a good score. Well worked all the way from the goalkeeper up. One in midfield, and nicely finished as well. You see on our camera there, low down, Cassidy from Donoghmore with the finish. Good score. Oh, there's a chance here for Queens. Now, a goal here would be crucial. If they could get one, it would be massive. And they've got it to the right man. They've got it to Grimes. Takes his point. That'll do. 2 in a row for Queens. Gets it back to a 4-point game. Kick it goes way over to the far side. Queens try to break it, but the referee has been consistent on that. He's done that a few times. He's given frees for a hand on the back by the player from behind. Just try to clarify the score here for you to make sure we're absolutely right here. No, there's nothing on the Queens page or on the UCC pages, on Twitter anyway. Let's follow the game. UCC trying to get another score, and I think he's going to get that one. And yeah, he shrugged off the man and put it over the bar, and it is more or less point for point in the second half. There was 5 in it at the break, and McSweeney there in the shot. It's 5 in it again. Aaron Lee goes up the middle with it this time. And that time there was a hand on the back and they called for it and they got it. The referee very consistent on that, and it doesn't really look like much of a push. Doesn't look like he moved the player out of the way, but just a hand up in the back. He's given it once, so he's going to keep giving it, and it's worked for Queens this time. This is Grimes. Gets a bit of support, and I think that was O'Neill coming up, and this is a good move. He's going for goal. The keeper did well, one-handed, and it's going to come back for a free. But it was a good move by Queens and an effort on goal. And a goal there would definitely have been massive going into the last 20 minutes, but they're still knocking on that door, Queens. And they went close there. Goalkeeper did well, Austin Murphy. So a free in. So Queens, not a goal, but they'll take a point. Absolutely. And get it back again to that 4-point game. And they do. But they just can't get really close to UCC. And they're now thinking about a change as well. They're looking at bringing on number 17. That's Luke McManus from Monaghan Harps. He came on last week as well, so same changes last week. That's well knocked down by Michael Burnett. Haven't mentioned him too much, but he does a lot of work around the middle there. That's good play by the Armagh man. And Luke Diamond could benefit at the end of it. I think that's going to come in, is it? Is it going to go over inside the post? Let's wait for confirmation from the umpires. We get it. 2 in a row. This is much better. Well, Queens have done well to bring it back from, I think it was 6 back to 3. And as I say, they're looking at making a change. So just getting confirmation. 113 to 9, and then that score makes it 113 to 10. Thanks for that. Queens win it again. That's an interesting low ball played in there and beautifully taken as well. And it's Grimes, of course, and he lays it off, but is it intercepted? No, Queens are going to get it again. This is a good spell for Queens. They need to keep the foot on the pedal, and that's an interesting effort. If he can get it over, is it inside the post? I don't think so. It's not. Decent effort though. Just getting a message here on the live chat about Paul O'Keefe, the manager of UCC. He won 2 Sigersons, captained once, coached UCC to win a Cork football championship. And Tony Leahy, it wasn't Tor, it was Tony Leahy, played for Cork as well. Thank you for that. That's great information. I really appreciate that. UCC now on the break, and they've got him behind again with a man free and in room as well. And it's Horgan, but he's bottled up. And they may have missed the opportunity, and it was a good opportunity. Is this gone over? It might be. Yeah, it is over. That's the score for UCC. And they needed that just to stem the tide a little bit and break the momentum. And momentum's such an important part of the modern game. And it was all going for Queens there, but UCC got up and got a score there to make it 114 to 110 and have that 4-point cushion again. And it is a cushion. I think that's the best way to describe it. UCC getting possession again. It's very even in the second half, isn't it? And that suits UCC. Could look back and think that they won the game in that period. ironically enough, when they were down to 14 players. Strange. Last night UCC won the game, or UL won the game last night against the DCU, pretty much in the same period, about 10 minutes coming up to half time. Ball delivered over to the far side from Malloy, and they're trying to get room for the big fella to get close to getting a 2-pointer, but Queens obviously have been warned about that, and we'll have mentioned that at half time. That's a great interception. That's great play coming out of defence to get it, and he's got it again. That's terrific defensive work. I think it was Forbes, but I'll clarify that for you in a second. But good play by him to break that up, and actually it wasn't, it was Joey Clark. Great play by him. And still the sub waits to come on, Luke McManus. Queens not making the change just yet, coming up to the 3-quarter mark. Trail by 4. Thought about it there, didn't they? But they don't have Michael McSweeney to hit a 2-pointer, or do they? This is Luke Diamond, goes inside the arc. They'll take 1, never mind 2. But it really is a great thing to have. Now that might be a 2-pointer if it gets over. It doesn't. Goalkeeper did well. It was Austin Murphy. And it's going to be a free out for UCC. Now the sub will come on, Luke McManus for Queens. Last week he came on for McQuillan. This week he comes on for Michael Burnett, who hasn't really been in the game as much as he was last week. So the big full forward, who doesn't really play full forward, if you know what I mean, comes off. And it's 15 minutes for Queens to turn this one around. Now they will still get another chance if they lose this. They'll go into that draw tomorrow for round 3, so they'd be out next week, but they're not thinking about that now. They just want to turn this around and win it. Now he's going for a 2-pointer as well. That's high, but I don't think it has the distance, but it's a tricky one, and the goalkeeper punches it out very cleverly to Liam Evans. That was intelligent. Saw the man there and just say this is the easier option, but Queens might get it back. Good pressure being applied, and the referee letting that one go, and they have got it back, and it's McManus from Monaghan Harps, the sub, who's come on, and that is Cassidy playing it in there, and it's congested in there, looking to try and fist it over the bar. Doesn't have room, but they'd see if they can get a point out of it. Do they? I think no, they haven't. Wasn't sure from this angle, but didn't go over, and that was McManus. Number 17, UCC now bringing on a sub of their own, and the man coming on is Cormac Dillon, and he is going straight into the full forward area. He's racing right over to the Queen's goal. The man off is number 11, Emmett Daly. And now Queens have put a man back there to mark him, with the goalkeeper still well out of his goals. Ball well up the other end of the field though. So 14 to go, and a free out for UCC again. Queens trying their level best, but just being frustrated by UCC, and a bit of back chat as well. So the new rule coming into effect there, and it been brought up the field. He was trying to combine a ball being moved up with a solo and go there as well. He wasn't getting away with that, but it does again just kill the momentum, and there hasn't been momentum for one side or the other really in the second half, and that's exactly what Queens need, because it's sort of point for point. 5 at half time, and it's only 4 in it now, but only 1 point difference, and the longer this goes on, the more Queens are going to have to look at a 2-pointer or a goal. And that's a terrific ball, and it's great support play as well, and he's going for goal. Doesn't get it, but a brilliant move for UCC. And John Granger down below me turns, he knew that was a chance that could have put this game out of reach of Queens, and it was a brilliant move. Look at it again. It's Santry putting the ball in, and this was good. The layoff and the run from Daly, but missed the target. But Queens knocking on, or rather UCC knocking on the Queens door. Played in again, but that's easily intercepted, and now Queens have a chance. Well, that could be a turning point if Queens now can put their foot on the gas. That's good play by the fullback, Joe Finnegan, coming up the field. Runs into trouble though. Keeping possession is important. They get it to Ryan McQuillan, and he's just going to be forced to come back out, but they need composure here. Finnegan Plays it quickly over to the right hand side to Hines. Two Antrim men combining there. I think this is Grimes coming inside. As he fouled? We're back on. We are back on, and Queens are back on, and Queens are in the lead, but there's a free for UCC, and they're looking to take it very quickly, and it's Kieran Santry. He's done this before, and that might be over the bar. It is, and I think that's level. I'm not sure, but I think that is level. You've missed 1-3 to a point before that for Queens. They got a goal. Noah Grimes, I think it was, who was over on the far side, put it in soccer style. Keeper got something to it, but it went into the net, and they got a couple of points there as well. So Queens and UCC, I think, are level, but I'm sorry, but I just can't confirm that exactly at the minute. And apologies for losing power, and that's exactly what happened here. I can't explain it. I don't know what happened there. We were just saying we haven't had a problem with the stream for an awful long time, and then of course something happened. So there's something with the power there. We've got our own generator going, and we are back on for you now. But apologies for what happened, but we're trying to work it out. The score, that is, I think it is level. We're checking with Queens on the sideline at the minute, but certainly this game is livened up, and apologies for what you missed there. We will put it up later for you to watch the important bits, but the important thing now is that we finish this game and see who gets through to the quarter-finals, and this could be a score for Queens. It is a great score, and it's Conal Higgins from Mahara Felton Derry, and I think that has put Queens back in front. They were behind for so long, and it didn't look like they were going to get back into it. Then they got a few points, and a great bit of leadership from Conal's brother Dan Higgins, who caught a great ball a few minutes ago as well, and Ronan Cassidy from Donegal got a couple of points, one from a free and one from play. And that's all helped Queens get right back into this, and indeed lead, I think, at the minute by a point. Yeah, Queens up, just getting confirmation of that. But let me follow the play again here, because UCC are not done by any means. Jacob O'Driscoll gets it out to the far side, and Queens have got a lot of men back. They've three up, including one who's on the ground. They're trying to get a couple of subs on as well, but it is UCC now. They've made a few changes of their own. One of their changes, Cormac Dillon got their sole point in the last 10 minutes or so. This is McSweeney, though. The 2-point threat is there. They know it's there. Queens are not letting them get onto that right foot to do that, to get onto that right foot to get a 2-pointer, because that obviously would be huge at this stage of the game. But as UCC trying to get back into it, I am told that Queens indeed are up in this game. I'm getting confirmation of that. It is, what do we see, 213 to 116, I'm told. So that would be, no, that would be level, but that might be a few minutes ago. So maybe I'll get another update on that for you. But let's follow the play here and see what happens. That would suggest it's level at the minute. And there's a great score. Oh my goodness, what a belter that is, given the time in the game. And that is the number 10, Rory Murphy. And it's a 2-pointer, of course, as well. That is massive for UCC. What a bit of play to step up at this time in the game with a 2-pointer. That is magnificent by the man from Listerry and Kerry. So if somebody's asking me what the score is, and I'm going, I have no idea, to tell you the truth, mate. But that's definitely UCC in front. But I'm not sure what the actual score is. But look at the amount of scores we've had today under the new rules. It really is terrific to get scores like this. You're not getting your 1-8s against 10 points anymore. And it means that the game is still very alive for both teams. A 2-pointer, that's their third 2-pointer. Queens, I don't think have had any, maybe one, don't think so. But Queens now looking to get back into it. They got that goal and then they were ahead, but UCC showing their character. And they now lead. I'm not exactly sure what they lead by, but here's a chance. That's a brilliant ball in, but it doesn't stick, and it's going to go over the line, and that's going to suit UCC. So it's tense, and it's close right at the end here of this Electric Ireland Sigerson Cup Round 2A game for a place in the quarter-finals. The goalkeeper, Austin Murphy, in no particular hurry. Belts it over to that far side. Get it as far away from goal as possible. Who's going to win it? It's UCC getting it. That's an important one to win, but Queen's desperately trying to knock it from their grasp. There's one of the subs who came on, number 29, that is. And that is Darragh O'Connor. I'm wondering, is that the same Darragh O'Connor, the hurler, who's just been named captain of the Cork hurlers, and that's going to be brought all the way forward, and that is a blow to Queens. They obviously, shall we say, questioned that decision, and that's going to cost them under these new rules. And the number 25 coming up to take it is Cormac Dillon. He came on as a sub. And the referee, well, he's been consistent on that, and consistent on quite a few things, and it seems to be slipping away from Queens again. And of course he doesn't miss. There is not long left. We don't have a clock on the board anymore, I'm afraid, but I know there's not long left, and you know it as well, and the referee knows it, but I'm just watching him. He's looking at a watch on his left hand at the minute. It's all up the middle. It's very narrow, but the players will break to their sides here. This will be crucial from this kick out from the goalkeeper, Aaron Lee. Man goes down in front of the referee. He says play on. Queens get possession with Donald Scullion, and important to get that, but that's not a good ball up the line. And hands go to the heads for Queens down below us. They know that that was not a good ball. And UCC in no rush, and Queens in a big rush to get a ball from anywhere from behind the goals to get on with, but of course the referee will be holding up anyway. ATU Galway won their game with St Mary's. I'm just looking at a photograph of them celebrating earlier. UCC go short with that one, and the referee has got his whistle to his mouth, and now he blows, and it's a Queen's ball. Now, I'm not sure whether there's one or two in it, whether Queens can do with a point or whether they need two. There's a final whistle, and it's UCC who celebrate at the end after a dramatic roller coaster of a game that went one way and then the other. Early doors it was Queens. UCC came back into it with a strange, surreal goal. We're ahead at half time and held that lead right through to the last 10, and then Queens got back at them with a goal of their own from Noah Grimes and looked to be in the driving seat, but UCC pulled it out in the last 5 minutes. You have to give them credit for that. They did really well at the end of the game with a 2-pointer from Rory Murphy and another point from Murphy as well, and they have come out victors in this excellent game here in the Electric Ireland Sigerson Cup Round 2A. What it means is we now know 4 of the teams into the quarterfinals who will all be there after winning their 2 games. The 4 are UL, TUD, UCD and UCC. That leaves 8 teams to play next week in Round 3. 4 will come through for that to fill the remaining 4 places and to go up against those 4. So UL will not be playing, for example, TUD or UCD or UCC, so it'll be those 4 against the 4 winners from Round 3. The teams in Round 3: Queens, DCU, Ulster University, Maynooth, Dundalk IT, MTU Kerry, ATU Galway and University of Galway. That draw will be made at lunchtime tomorrow. It's really getting down to the serious stuff. Apologies for losing power for a few minutes there. As I say, we had to go and find our own power. We had been plugged into the power here at Abbotstown, but we had to then go and get our generator going, so I'm sorry you missed some of the action there, but I hope you enjoyed the rest of the coverage, and thankfully we got on for the last few minutes, and we will put up the highlights that were missed. We will put them up online, and we'll do a few interviews as well before we leave here. The UCC players are already leaving, though they'll want to get down the road to Cork, so I'm going to wrap up this stream so we can get out there to do those interviews, to get them up and put a few bits up of the best bits on social media as well. But the big news is that UCC have won this one. They have beaten Queen's University, but Queen's will have another chance. They'll have another game next week, but it is the college, it is the Skull and Crossbones who have won this game here at Abbotstown. We hope you have enjoyed the coverage. We'll be back hopefully next week with some more games from the higher education knockout games in the Sigerson and maybe the Fitzgibbon as well. But for now, from this game, it's goodbye.